have had the honor of knowing Kendra for about 5 years now. We used to work together at Ernst & Young in a myriad of different roles, actually. But Kendra has really just blossomed since she's left Ernst & Young and found her purpose and what she's supposed to do in life. And I'm not going to steal her thunder, but she is a personal coach, motivational speaker, and career counselor all in one.
Thanks.
But no, Kendra is awesome, and I'm so excited for her to be here to share what she does with you guys today. So let's all give it up for Kendra.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Lori. Thank you all. I appreciate Lori and the Women of Five Rings Financial for having me this evening. Before we hop into my discussion here, I want to share with you some common thought processes that we come across, and just think about if you ever identify with some of these statements, okay? For instance, I'm just not good enough. I'll never get out of debt. There's no way with the bills that I have that I can put away any additional money for retirement. I feel stuck. Now, if I show of hands, any of that kind of ever felt familiar to you, or any thoughts? Yeah. So when we have those kind of thoughts, we actually may be looking at our finances from what's called a fixed mindset. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So again, I'm Kendra Sweat. I am the founder of Everyday Executive. I'm also a trained mindset coach who's on a mission to free everyday hardworking people from the bondages of a fixed mindset and empower them to take ownership of their lives and lead from wherever they are. And one of the ways that I do that is by helping them to develop their growth mindset. And when Lori asked me to come speak, I wasn't quite sure how it all meshed together because I'm not a huge financially savvy person, but and I typically dwell in the realm of employees and budding entrepreneurs and getting them to the next level. But when we talk about mindset, our mindset impacts every facet of our life, right? And every stage of it. And so I came across Dr. Carol Dweck, and she wrote a book called Mindset. And she has a theory that we have two mindsets, or we all have one or the other mindsets, fixed mindset or growth mindset. And so what I'm going to do is just give you some real high level on what those two are and how it impacts our ability to obtain or grow our wealth. Right? And just to get into the definition of a mindset, so mindset.com says, mindsets are those collection of beliefs and thoughts that make up the mental attitude, inclination, habit, or disposition that predetermines a person's interpretations in response to events, circumstances, and situations. So basically, our mindset influences our thoughts, and our thoughts influences our actions, right? So if we want different actions, or if we want to change our response to different things and events, we have to first really get a hold of our mindset. So growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. When someone suffers from a fixed mindset, and I do need to rewind, so Dr. Dweck, when she developed this theory, a lot of her studies and research is based on children and education. So she's looking at how praise impacts the way our minds develop. And so, for example, if a child gets an A on a paper and they bring the paper to you as a parent, you're praising and supporting and encouraging your child. You're so smart. You did a great job. These things just come so easy to you. Well, what that's really doing is setting that child up for a fixed mindset, because it's helping to ingrain this belief that our abilities are innate. They're fixed. So now they're thinking, I'm smart. This is my identity. So it kind of discourages them for trying things that they may not be good at because they don't want to look like they're not smart. Versus when they get that A, complimenting and saying things like, I'm so proud of you. You put forth a lot of effort. I saw you studying. I saw the hard work that you put into it, and look, it paid off. And so that gets them in a mindset, a growth mindset of, well, effort. And if I put forth the work and the effort, then I can achieve different things. So recognizing that fixed mindset, we all have it. We all suffer from it. The fixed mindset, failure is a limit of my ability. So people with a fixed mindset, They don't go after things where they may fail at because they feel like that's a reflection on them. They stick to what they know, and it's either you can do it or you can't. Also with the fixed mindset, what comes with that is inability to really take ownership and accountability. So we place a lot of blame outwardly as well. And how that plays into, when you think about it, when you have a fixed mindset, it keeps you from breaking those habits that you know aren't helping you to reach your financial goals. So for example, I had a credit card with a $4,000 limit. I maxed it out, and it was daunting to me. I'm like, I'm never going to pay this down with the interest. And so what I would do is just make the minimum payment every month, and that would be the interest, and there would be a little bit of a balance left on that card. And because I never saw it as something that I could pay off anyways, what I would do is immediately go charge back that little amount anyways, instead of allowing it to at least chop down little by little, right? So that was my fixed mindset coming to play. Also, we all know, who can tell me when they say, okay, in order to obtain wealth, you need so many streams of income. Who knows how many? Seven, right? So if you have a fixed mindset, that means you need to be looking at how you're investing, maybe opening up or starting your own venture. But with a fixed mindset, you are less likely to do those things, right? Because you don't want to fail. We all know that entrepreneurship is very tricky, troubled waters. But someone with a fixed mindset would be less likely to go that route because they don't want to fail. They also, because they kind of leave things as status quo, don't challenge even looking at their retirement because I'm not good with money. This is just not my thing. So we go to these jobs, we sign up for the 401k, mark the percentage, and we never look at it ever again. I've been convicted of that, right? I had no clue what happened with that. Once the company puts money in there, I put money in there. Who knows what happens with it? But that's us leaving our financial future up to a company, up to the government, Social Security, instead of taking that ownership for ourselves because it's on us. But we're giving away our power when we don't take that accountability. So that's where how a fixed mindset, it keeps you from going after those risks. It makes you think that, well, I'm not really great with finances, so there's nothing I can do about it anyways, and you just never try to increase your ability in that area. But on the other hand, when you have a growth mindset, you are someone that sees failure as opportunity. You learn and you grow from your failures. You like to try new things, and you have an attitude that with effort, you can achieve pretty much anything you put your mind to. So for someone with a growth mindset, that means that you're more likely to take that initiative to challenge the status quo. You're more likely to start that company. You're more likely to say, you know what, no, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but there are resources here. Resources are not finite. There's things that I can take advantage of to help me grow and get to that next level. So that's the differences in the mindset. And my favorite quote by Dr. Dweck says, no matter what your ability is, effort is what ignites that ability and turns it into accomplishment. So if we are in a situation where we're thinking, well, there's no way we can increase our ability in this, we don't do anything. But with a growth mindset, you work on putting forth effort, and you know that even if it's challenging, it's not something that you can't obtain. You just need to keep putting forth effort. So the good news is, we pretty much all have a little bit of both. I do believe that we're all born with a growth mindset, right? Think of babies when you watch them learn how to walk, they fall down 4 or 5 times. They don't just say, oh, I guess I'm not meant to walk. They keep going. That's something that we're born with because we need it as humans. That's how we've evolved to where we are today, right? Not having that fear, thinking things can get better. But unfortunately, due to life, upbringing, depending on how we were raised, how our parents praised us, our environments, that fixed mindset creeps in. And for some of us, it really digs in and takes hold. So it's a lot more challenging to break. But the good news is that you can strengthen, you can develop your growth mindset. It's just about being able to recognize those moments when that fixed mindset starts to creep in and then learn how to talk to those thoughts when they do. So I have 3 tips. There's plenty of ways that you can grow and develop your growth mindset. But some things I would love for you guys to start with is first, see your failures as not there yet versus it's never going to happen. So when you start that business and you get that no, or things don't quite come out the way you planned, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just means not yet. So see things, failures as not there yet. Back to the drawing board. With me, I like to be transparent, so I always throw a little personal story in there. When it comes to me and my weight loss journey, my fixed mindset would tell me, you've gained and lost the same 50, 60 pounds like 6 times now. It's just be done with it, you know? But my growth mind comes back and says, you know what? You haven't found what works for you just yet, but keep going, you'll find that solution. And start the journey back down the right path. And it happens. But the second thing we can do is be kind to ourselves, eliminate the negative self-talk. I tell people all the time, you know, I used to have the ability, I didn't worry about anybody bullying me, saying anything bad to me, because I kicked my own butt harder than anyone else could. So it was really nothing you could say to me that I haven't already said to myself, right? But we end up beating ourselves up so much, right? And so watch the negative self-talk. And one of the ways that you can help yourself, it sounds hippie-esque and kind of corny, but affirmations, really. I have sticky notes with what's great about me now and what's going to be great about me in the future all over my vanity. So that's the first thing I see as I'm getting ready in the morning to get me ready for my day. And then when the day has beat me up a bit, it's the last thing I see when I'm taking off my makeup and getting ready for bed, right? So those positive affirmations remind you of who you are. And sometimes we need that, so don't take that for granted. But writing down, we all know when you write something down, it's more powerful. And then the last tip is embrace effort and challenges. So it takes effort to get to where we want, and it's not always easy, right? But instead of being miserable throughout the process, embrace it. You know, tell yourself, good job. My trainer, I hate the Stairmaster, not gonna lie, but I have learned to appreciate the process because it is going to get me to the goals, to the achievements that I want to accomplish, right? When I started, we would do 4 minutes. I would have to break after every minute just to get through 4 minutes. Now I'm up to 10 minutes, you know, but it's because Lord knows. But embracing it and not making ourselves miserable, beating ourselves up through the process. Appreciate yourself for being someone that's willing to take the steps and make that effort, because not everyone does it. If it was that easy, everyone would do it, right? Right. So, but appreciate yourself and say, you know what, this isn't easy, but I'm doing it anyways. And I know that I'm going to achieve the results that I'm looking for. And then a little bonus for you. You can always stay connected with Everyday Executive, and that's another way you can continue to develop your growth mindset. I post things, I host workshops, but even just the quick hits, following my social media if you just need that quick burst of inspiration, motivation, or knowledge. But then also I have workshops as well. I'm like, I should have been like her and had a flyer, so thank you for teaching me right now. Yes, you just helped me up my game a little bit, so thank you for that. But so I do workshops and I combine coaching and mentoring and professional development in a mastermind inspired environment. So there's no just coming, filling in the blanks and leaving. The groups are small. You have to engage. When you spend money, you're investing in yourself, and a lot of us don't invest in ourselves, and it's very hard for us to do that. So I want to make sure you get the most out of your investment. So that means pushing you beyond your comfort zone and making sure that you're engaged and you're giving feedback and getting feedback. And we split the sessions in two so that not only do you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, but you also have to have some self-accountability, because you're going to have to come back and report to your peers on how you've implemented what you've learned and how you're working towards your goals. So that keep it going, you just start that process, and then I also do individual coaching from there. But this was just some quick hits for you guys. If you haven't ever heard of this before, it's something that I really encourage you to start looking into and thinking about, because it really does impact every area of your life. I mean, from relationships to even, I'm proud to announce my road rage isn't so bad anymore. I just don't trip on a lot of things anymore. And I'll just leave you guys with my favorite sayings: have faith and take risks. Thank you. Oh yes, I'm sorry. I didn't get that option. Questions? Okay. Good. feel free to connect with me. I love connecting with people. So I have a few cards, enough I think for the class. I got lucky. But thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Kendra. That was awesome. I know that I struggle sometimes with that too. So my name